Colleague Racing announced their crew chief lineup for the 2021 NASCAR Xfinity Series season and Cup Series as well. Andy Lally will actually be making his Xfinity Series return in 2021. And it looks like there will be a driver that will be joining Joe Gibbs Racing as well in 2021. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. We got quite a few stories to discuss here today on the channel. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. The first story we're going to talk about is some sponsorship news, as Hooters is once again returning to sponsor Chase Elliott for 3 races in the 2021 season. They will be bringing the Night Owl scheme for 2 of those races in 2021 with the Indy Road Course in Bristol in the playoffs. Now, there are currently plans for them to reveal a throwback scheme in the near future for the May Darlington race. So there is going to be a throwback scheme. I assume that it's going to be an Alan Kulwicki throwback that they're going to run. You really didn't need to change this paint scheme. This paint scheme is really, really cool. One of my favorite paint schemes of last year. And once again, it returns. Nothing needs to change here. I really do like this paint scheme. And I cannot wait to see this paint scheme out on the racetrack headed into the 2021 season. The other major sponsor that was announced today was that iFly is going to be sponsoring Daniel Suarez in 2021. This is the first official sponsorship that Trackhouse Racing has announced for 2021. And like the Night Owl scheme that Chase Elliott has, this paint scheme is fire. Again, the races out for the scheme have not been announced at this moment, but iFly, which is a huge sky place where you can go up in the sky and skydive and all that stuff, is going to once again be sponsoring Daniel Suarez. I really do like this paint scheme, and I think that it will be a great scheme to see on the racetrack. It's already one of my favorite paint schemes that has been revealed for 2020, which there's been a lot of really good schemes this year up to this point. On to the next story. Garrett Smith is once again going to be returning to Rick Ware Racing part-time in the 2021 season. Garrett Smith this last year ran for Rick Ware Racing for a select number of races. He's ran for them 26 times over the last couple years, and once again, he will be returning to race for Rick Ware Racing in 2021. I am going to assume that he's going to run the other races for either the 15 car or for the 53 car alongside Joey Gase and James Davison when they're not in the 53 or the 15 cars. I assume that Garrett Smith will be taking over for those select races in 2021, but it's really, really awesome he's going to be coming back. I think Garrett Smith does have talent. Yes, he's shown that he's made mistakes at times, but Garrett Smith has shown he's able to drive a race car, and it's really cool that he once again will be returning to Rick Ware Racing headed into the 2021 season. On to the next story. Colleague Racing has officially announced their crew chief lineup for the 2021 season. Bruce Slicker is going to be the crew chief for Jeff Burton in 2021. Alex Santz will once again be returning to crew chief for Justin Haley in 2021. And AJ Allmendinger will have a new crew chief in 2020 as Jason Trincher will be the crew chief for him. I think he had Bruce Slicker at points last year. He'll have Jason Trincher as his crew chief in 2021 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. For the Cup Series, Kaz Grala and AJ Allmendinger, who will be splitting that car in 2021, will be crew chief by Matt Swiderski, who I think is a very good crew chief as well. Alex Santz is really not much to say. He's a really good crew chief. He helped Justin Haley win a couple of Subaru Speedway races last year. No surprise there. Bruce Slicker helped Ross Chastain, I think, at points this year, and AJ Allmendinger last year. He did really well with those teams, and I think that Jason Trincher, I don't know much about him, but I do think he's going to be able to help AJ Allmendinger. But I think that the crew chief lineup is really successful, and I think that we will see some great things from this group in 2021. Colleague Racing has a lot of exciting things that are coming, and they're a team that's on their way up to the next league. I mean, they're jumping up to the Cup Series, and I do think in 2021 they're going to continue have a lot of success, and I think a lot of wins are going to come from Colleague Racing headed into 2021. On to the next story. We're going to talk about Andy Lally as he will once again be returning to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2021 to race at the Daytona Road Course in 2021, driving the 03 car at the Daytona Road Course. There's been rumors for quite some time that Andy Lally was going to be making select starts for Our Motorsports once again after having a couple really successful races with Our Motorsports last year. In both starts that he had at Road America and the Daytona Road Course, he was able to give Our Motorsports, which really isn't the most competitive team, he was able to get him a couple top fives. Again, that team was not bad last year, but they were a startup team. He was able to get a couple top fives for them, and I do think that he's going to continue to have success in them. How likely do I think Andy Lally's season is going to go in 2021? I really think that depending on what other race he's announced to drive, I do think that Andy Lally in 2021 is going to do a lot of great things, at least at the Daytona Road Course. I don't remember if he's going to practice or qualify or not for the Xfinity Series, and I think you're going to have a lot of experience. And Andy Lally has a ton of experience at the Daytona Road Course. So I do think that success he's been able to have at Daytona Road Course and that experience he's been able to have, I think that's going to bring a lot of good things for that team. And I do believe they have E-Star engines, if I'm not mistaken. So overall, I think that's going to help the team. I think Our Motorsports is a team that's really on their way up. And I do think that in 2021, we are going to see a lot of great things for Our Motorsports. And it's also really awesome that Andy Lally is going to be coming back to the NASCAR Xfinity Series to race at least one race. I hope he does race more in 2021, but this might be his only race for 2021. But we'll have to see what his other plans are going to be for 2021. And now we're getting on to the final major story of today's episode, as it has been announced just a little bit ago that Ty Dillon is officially going to be going to JGR for select races in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2021. He'll be racing 4 races in 2021. He'll be kicking off with the season opener in 2020, and then he'll race at Homestead, then he'll race at Las Vegas, and then his final race will be at Talladega Superspeedway, which will be in the summer in 2021, driving the number 54 car. Sponsorship has not been announced at the moment for Ty Dillon in 2020, but he'll be racing 4 races in 2021. To me, this is a fantastic opportunity for Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon may not have had much success in the NASCAR Cup Series, but when he's racing the Xfinity Series, he has actually had quite a bit of success. I mean, look back at 2014 where he's able to win a fuel mileage race against Kyle Busch, and he had a lot of more consistency and a lot more success when he drove for Rich Schultz Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I do think in 2021, especially in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, driver the 54 team, I really do think that Ty Dillon has a really good opportunity, and he has a really good shot of winning races with the team. The 54 car actually has a lot of overall speed, and I do think in 2021 he's going to have a really good shot of winning races, especially since he's going to be working with Chris Gale. I know Chris Gale isn't the best crew chief, but Chris Gale also has success in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, so I do think that he's going to actually have a pretty good season with the team. I'm really excited for Ty Dillon getting this opportunity. I think he absolutely deserved it. Unfortunately, back not that long ago, Ty Dillon lost his right at Germain Racing, which was in the RCR program, and now he's basically starting to make his own way. And he's joined the Toyota programs because he's always going to be racing with Gaunt Brothers in select races. There's a possibility that Ty Dillon could be racing up to 12 races in the NASCAR Cup Series for Gaunt Brothers Racing in 2020. But I think it's really, really awesome that Ty Dillon is going to be racing in 2020. I think he's going to have a lot of success with the team, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do in 2021. I think it's very awesome that he's going to get this opportunity. Now, the other announcements regarding the 54 team, you also know that Ty Gibbs is going to be running slot starts with this team in 2021, but Kyle Busch is going to be racing in 5 races in 2021 with the number 54 car. He'll be driving in Atlanta, Circuit of the Americas, Texas, Nashville, and Road America to close out the season. And then Martin Truex Jr. will be making his first NASCAR Xfinity Series start since 2010, I believe, at Charlotte, when Brad Keselowski held him off at the second Charlotte race. He'll be racing at the second Atlanta race in 2021. And then Denny Hamlin will be concluding as the final driver, Cup Series driver as of right now, that will be racing at the Darlington race in 2021. It was reported yesterday that this was probably going to be the way it was going to go for this team, but we now have 100% confirmation that these will be the drivers that will race alongside Ty Gibbs and Ty Dillon in 2021. I also do think it is very, very possible that we could end up seeing more drivers race at Joe Gibbs Racing in 2021. Maybe we can have seen Bubba Wallace run a couple races. It's very possible that Christopher Bell could be racing as well in 2021 with the team, and there's a possibility also that we may end up seeing Chandler Swift as well race in 2021, but those drivers have not been announced at this current moment. But I do think it's really, really awesome that there are some drivers going to be racing the 54 car. This is technically going to be the all-star car for Joe Gibbs Racing in 2021. I'm really excited for this team, and overall, I cannot wait to see this car and the rest of the cars for Joe Gibbs Racing out on the racetrack in 2021. So, anyway, that is going to be for today's NASCAR news video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, turn notifications so you get me notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Link description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's video. What do you think thoughts about Ty Dillon racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series driving the 54 car for select races? How well do you think he's going to do in 2021? And do you think he's actually going to win races with this team in 2021? Let me know in comments below. And what are your thoughts about Andy Lally returning to race for Our Motorsports at a Daytona Road Course? Do you think he has a shot at contending for the win or not? Let me know in comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like so YouTube can recommend more of these great videos out to you guys. If you do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links in the description below for that. Anyway, guys, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.